Let me introduce myself.
I think we're ready.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Voice in the Pen podcast. Emily and I are really excited today to be chatting with Dead Fox No Groove here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank y'all for having us.
Thank you for having us.
This is
Thank you so
exciting.
much.
Yeah, we're excited as well. So, I mean, instantly, I've been wondering this because y'all have played the Voice in the Pen twice, and we really enjoyed your music. But Dead Fox No Groove, can you elaborate on name origin, etymology of the band?
The origin of the name. I'll take the first part of the story. You take
I was
the
going to
second.
say, I feel like I've taken the story so many times that
Yeah.
You've got to have answered
I'll
it a
take
couple
the
times.
first part of the story. So me and Blake, we started out as like the way that you've seen us multiple times and the way we'll play today, as the acoustic duo. And in this like earlier stage of us playing, we had just been introduced as Blake and Chappie so many times. And after the final time, I locked us into the staff room of the hostel. And
over it.
Yeah, I was done. I was like, we are not walking out of this room until we come up with a good band name. And we wanted something with the word Fox in the name, and we were like stuck on like something Fox, like anything. Like we were thinking like Garden Fox for a minute, and then Blake piped up and said, "You want to take it?"
I was like, if Fox isn't going to be the last syllable of the name, it's got to be like blank Fox blank blank. I was like, just the syllables had to line up. I don't know why, but I was like, I don't know, for example, like Dead Fox No Groove.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah.
It's got to punch you in the face when you hear it. For some
That was
reason.
the first one you said then, and you were like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, in that like line of thinking, like, you know,
That's awesome.
like four words.
It was just supposed to be some kind of like tongue-in-cheek example of like just how I wanted it to sound, and Chappie was like, "That's it,
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
first try."
I mean, I think it's a great name.
I mean, I think it's a great name, too. I was going to tease you a little bit because you had mentioned bluegrass earlier. It'd be like Fox on the Run.
Dang it.
I like Dead Fox No Groove much better for a band name.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and it was all this man.
This guy wanted us to be scheduled breakdowns.
I think that's a good band name.
We weren't
I
heavy
think that's a
enough.
good band name.
Not
you know
heavy
what?
enough in my
Anybody
brain.
watching, if you want to take the name scheduled
Let's
breakdowns,
take a
you know,
vote.
You got it.
Oh yeah,
Hit this
yeah.
guy up for the rights.
I mean, theoretically, we could also go with scheduled breakups. So tell me a little bit about how you all collaborate. You've been working together for a year or two now, it seems like. Is that about right?
Yeah,
about
since
a year and a half.
November of 2021.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right on. So closing in on the 2-year anniversary.
Yeah.
And
We gonna get me.
I heard he's going to write you a new song.
I'll actually be pretty.
Where
happy
did you
about
guys meet? Because you look like you could be brothers to me, but I know you're not. But where did you guys meet?
We met like for the first time at Barzar, actually. And Blake was running sound for an open mic that night, and I was like all alone in the world of Wilmington, and like walking up there with my acoustic guitar and just playing in an original song. And then at the end of it, they did not have enough time for Blake's performance.
I didn't even get to play an
He
Aran
was
sound
he
the
was
whole night.
promised he was promised a set at the end, and like Sean walked up to him and was like, "Nah, man, sorry."
That was messed up.
Yeah.
Thanks for running sound, but no Benny for you.
Yeah, nope. And then but we were all like, you know what? We want to hear Blake play. And Blake just played his songs outside of Barzar in the patio. And we had a mutual friend at the time, Olivia, and we just met in passing at the point. But then we both went to Olivia's birthday party like 3 days afterwards. And that's when him and I like actually met, realized that we were both like kind of chasing the same dream. And then and Blake was like, come over to the hostel and kind of see what we're about, and we can throw some ideas around.
Yeah.
We got to work immediately.
Yeah, oh my
Sounds
gosh.
like it. I mean, and your relationship, like, you know, seeing musicians on stage is one thing, and you can glean some things from that about their relationship. But just like watching you all since you've walked into the building today, you know, like you pick on each other, you know, but it's evident that you work well together. So how does your writing process go? Do you both contribute to lyrics? Do you play, Blake? I guess maybe before I go down that road, do you obviously play other instruments because you made guitar strumming? He was playing at least air guitar at Barzar in the parking lot.
Yeah, so
Very least.
actually, funny enough, the way that we first started performing together, we would actually play guitar and like sing a little bit together.
Yeah,
Mostly,
2 guitars.
yeah. And so, like, after a while, it was very apparent that I wasn't going to be able to really, like, provide, like, much in terms of, like, my guitar playing, because I'm not, like, super crazy guitar player, but we were both just basically playing the same chords. Like, I was just kind of, like, struggling to keep up, just remembering the chords enough. So, I was, as a natural drummer, I was like, I think I should just fall back to percussion and we should get, like, a cajon or something. And it instantly opened up the amount of songs that we could play, like, to basically unlimited, just as many songs as Chapman can remember, that I can just follow along on cajon. But I mean, maybe in the future we might kind of come back around and revisit that, but it's just way more tangible to have me like on percussion right now. But we like pretty soon, I honestly want to start singing again in the band, but singing and playing a full drum kit is a little more difficult than cajon. But when we play like our acoustic sets, I'll sing along with. But yeah, it really just kind of depends on how things will go, you know.
So how do you collaborate together in the writing process then? Is it more, one of you do more lyric or more music, or what comes first?
It tends to be like I tend to be like the lyric heavy one. But that's only because like we've only written like 3 songs when we've been together.
Like together. Yeah, like probably like 3 songs.
Most of the songs that that we play are just songs that I wrote like back in the day. And Dead Fox No Groovified.
Yeah, we've kind of like revamped like maybe the changes or like added new sections and stuff,
Yeah.
or just like little
There have
things.
been like multiple times where like, you know, I'll be like, what do you think about this? You know, do you like this song? I wrote this a couple years back. And then like Blake will be like, I really like that. Try this chord. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that opened up like this whole sound, you know?
Or I'll just like suggest maybe like a different line to the song or something, you know, just like some different lyrics, like something really similar, like, oh, I thought you were saying this. And then they'll be like, well, what if I did say
like that better?
We were talking with a songwriter, Emily and I were talking with a songwriter yesterday that said, you know, half the lyrics in my writing that are good or because I'm mostly deaf in one ear and I mishear things all the time and I like what I misheard, so I write it down.
I like that.
That adds up,
Yep.
honestly.
That does.
And we were writing earlier today, and CB's like, well, tell me the story behind how you got your guitar. And then he's like, I got the line. And he said it, and I was like, oh my gosh, you do have the line.
Every now and then a blind squirrel does find a nut. It happens occasionally. So, Blake, were you writing prior? Are you a songwriter as well? Like, how do you feel? Like, where do you fit in that outside of being, I think you said, a natural percussionist? Like, so that's a like dig.
So,
I like the percussion vibe for sure.
Thank you. Well, I definitely gravitate towards like rhythm, drums. Like I just have very little inhibition when it comes to drumming. Like as long as I've had like enough time to really just come up with a composition and just, you know, rehearse a song, I feel more comfortable playing drums than anything. But I do write songs, but I'm just not super, I'm not like super comfortable, I guess, with my voice. I just feel like I have a really high voice, and I would prefer like a song, like in my mind, like the way that I like a song composed is just like the way that my vocal range sort of fits. I hear it sort of more on the top of like stuff. So I have a lot of fun like recording music and adding like lots of harmonies and like layers and stuff. But when it comes to just like hearing myself as a storyteller, I'm still kind of like working towards that.
Cool. I think we all are. You know, like everybody's working on that.
It's just sort of I don't know. It's just hard for me to get over like the rut of just like hearing my own voice and just feeling like comfortable enough to just like put that out there like forever, either on the internet, like, you know, on Spotify.
I
or-
keep pushing them.
Yeah.
I swear.
That's good. We'll nudge a little bit as
We're
well.
working on it.
Yeah.
There's a good handful of songs that a lot of people have heard me play that are mine and that we were originally playing through Dead Fox in like its earliest stages that people like still push me to record and put out there for people to listen to. But it's coming
Bring back
soon.
Alone in
I was
My
going to say,
Room.
there it
One
is.
day.
There's the
Back
answer.
Alone
So
in My
yes,
Room.
Blake is a songwriter. I just,
We gotta get
Good
you
songwriter
on
at
Voice in the
that.
Pen.
Oh,
So
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I would be down for that,
Oh
honestly.
my God.
good to
But
know.
terrified nonetheless.
Are you available next Wednesday?
Pull out my calendar real quick.
And Chapman, what about you? In your writing, do you hear the music first, the lyric first? Does it vary? What's kind of works for you?
It does vary. Like there are like sometimes I'll come up with like a riff, and that like just kind of manifests into an entire song. And then other times like I'll just start with like a chord progression that I like. And as like I'm going through the day, just like in random moments, I'll think of like a cool moment that could happen in a song. My favorite example is in a song that we wrote called "Talk to Me." We're not playing that today, but in it, I have this moment that I had on my phone, like just written in my notes for the longest time, and it was like I say like change your frequency, and not the key of the song, but like I've been playing in E minor the entire time, and it goes to E major, and it was a super cool moment, and like I just had that in my like head for the longest time, and as I was writing "Talk to Me," I was like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect place to put that. So like it'll almost be like I'm like just going throughout my day and get like a puzzle piece. And that could be a chord progression, it could be a cool riff or like a lyric in my head, and like write it down and then go home and like sit with them and see like maybe how they fit together and stuff.
Do you set aside like a time to do that on a regular basis, where you're like you've got like this treasure trove of things that you've collected,
Yeah.
ideas, lyrics?
I've tried. I sadly am not one of those people that can just like call on inspiration. Like it hits when it hits, and like sometimes it'll hit like a truck, and like a 6-minute song that has like 300 words in it, or even more, can just be written in like a day.
Whole book.
Yeah, a whole book. And then other times, like, there's this one chord progression that I've just been sitting on for maybe 4 or 5 months now, and I still like it still stumps me to this day.
I feel like a little bit of that magic is sort of like when you can let the music write itself, like when the song kind of suggests what you're supposed to do.
You have to become a conduit, like let it speak with
Yes.
like through you, and not be like I want to do this, because then it just won't come.
If it's helpful, I had a chord progression that I unknowingly sat on for 10 years. And then I had these lyrics that I had written, and about 6 months after I wrote the lyrics, I was sitting on the couch, like beating my head against my guitar going, how am I going to find a chord progression for these lyrics? And I just started playing this thing that I'd played for most of the time I played guitar, and I was like,
Oh,
they go together.
I love those moments. Love those moments. Yeah,
Yes.
10
It was worth the
years.
wait.
the most dopamine rushing through your brain.
Everything, everywhere, all at once in the brain.
Oh, it's awesome. I definitely feel that.
So what's next for you all? Are you wanting to play outside of Wilmington? You mentioned the dream. What's the dream? Can you articulate the dream yet?
The dream, the Dead Fox No Groove dream. My mantra, my personal mantra, has been I will travel through music. I want to be like stable, and go see the world and like travel with Dead Fox. Go play to a bunch of people and make people cry, make people laugh, make people dance and mosh
Like,
and stuff.
two shows a day, 5 shows a week.
Yeah. 2 shows a day, 4 nights a week.
4 nights a week.
Easy money. You flopped on the Arctic Monkeys.
This is why I
reference.
don't like to sing, because I can't remember the words. So.
Yeah.
Especially not to a cover. That's not happening anytime soon. Sorry, guys.
I think it's way easier to sing my originals than as a covers by a long shot. You know?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Me too.
covers have to resonate though, like in order to work. Like I've been asked to cover Britney Spears, and I'm like, have you heard my voice?
You want me? You want me
Are
to do
you
that?
sure? The goal is to keep people in this venue.
Hear me, baby, one more time. Like it's like
Right.
a whole.
Like Ed Sheeran does it, but it's a different vibe.
Jared Michael Klein does it too.
Yeah.
I would
That
be
doesn't
down to cover
surprise
some
me.
Britney. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, that would be pretty cool. Though.
I mean, that would definitely put some funk in the middle of what you all do. It would be a very big, interesting juxtaposition.
It's gonna have to
That's
be
the
like
right word.
toxic era Britney though. Like
Yeah.
I was gonna say toxic.
I grew
Yeah.
up on that stuff.
That's so good.
Oops, I did it again. Yeah.
So, what brought y'all to Wilmington? Why Wilmington?
Ooh. You want to go first, or?
Wilmington brought me to Wilmington. I didn't even know where Wilmington was before I decided to move here like 2 weeks before. Like it was just I was actually living in Dallas, Texas a while back, over a year and a half ago. And I really wanted to move to Hawaii. I was on this like total Hawaii kick. Like I wanted to go actually do a volunteer position at this retreat center that was like a vegan retreat center where I would have been cooking and gardening and, you know, cooking what I was gardening and also teaching people how to go vegan. And I thought that would have been something really cool to do. And this was back in the middle of the pandemic when Delta was like really popping off and everybody was like getting really sick coming down with that at the time. And I actually caught it and I had to cancel everything. I'd spent like 3 months planning this all out and figuring out what I was going to do there, like where I was going to go, who I was going to meet. I'd already made like pen pals out there and just had to cancel everything and back to the drawing board. What do I do? And I had used this app called World Packers to figure out all of my accommodations when I got there and to just kind of give me a launching pad, you know, like after the first few months where I was going to go from there was all just kind of up in the air. But after I had to cancel everything, I opened that app back out and I was like, well, maybe I can find something, you know, domestically within the U.S., maybe go to like Colorado, go work on a hemp farm or something. I don't know. I've done that before. And so I thought it would be maybe a cool thing to revisit. And I had an unread message in my inbox from the former owner of the Stella Maris Hostel. And his name's Joe. And Joe was like, hey, we found your profile. You seem like a cool person. You know, you're a musician. Like we've got tons of music out here. Come on down to Wilmington, North Carolina. And I was like, where is that? And like pulled up a map of the U.S. and just decided to come here on a whim.
Wow.
And yeah, I have been here ever since.
I feel like there's a lot of songs in that.
And you
yeah.
for sure. And you mentioned the hostel, so I know about Stella Maris. I know where it is. But it seems like it's a steady maybe flow of musicians that kind of roll in and out of there. Is that?
Yeah. So we have a lot of like traveling musicians that were just coming through the Stella Maris Hostel when I had first gotten here. And it was a big reason why I like decided to investigate the music scene here a lot more. So I was working there at the time, volunteering. And after being there for a few months, the owner, Joe, informed us as he was trying to sell the business to somebody else, who had backed out at the last minute. He was like, well, you know, this is now kind of off the table. So I guess we're going to close the business down and break up the beds and sell it and be done with it. And me and my co-owner, Q, because I now run and own the Stella Maris Hostel, was like, hey, man, maybe we should like, you know, take the hostel over. Like maybe we should just run it, you know? And so we worked out a financing deal with the owner, Joe, at the time. And became the owners.
Awesome.
Basically like overnight. It was kind of crazy.
And so now you have a record studio, a recording studio.
Yeah, now we have a recording studio,
Called
Stella Maris
Stella Maris.
Records.
Okay.
Yeah. And we pretty much just like rolled all the energy over from that endeavor into this, and now we run both of these. And yeah, it's crazy. And
That is super cool. That's something I'm glad to know because we all talked to a lot of different musicians coming into Wilmington to play shows and that sort of thing. So, I mean, anybody that's touring or traveling around, you're looking for like the cheapest, safest place to stay that you can find. Like save those $100 from the night of work. So we'll definitely send people your way for sure. That's super cool to know.
Traveling musicians, come check out the Stella Maris Hostel.
Yeah,
Love music and
sure.
art over there, and I really want to start holding more events over there, start doing maybe some like singer-songwriter oriented events. We were throwing shows there for a little bit, but it started getting a little bit too rowdy, so we took a long hiatus from that. Our eyes were kind of bigger than our stomach on that. I feel like we built like a little stage back there.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Had a couple birthday parties.
There's houses around there, and we were just playing drums and electric guitars. And people
After
did
10
not
yelled at.
p.m., people freaking out downtown.
Noise ordinance.
Yeah. Chapman, what about you though? How did you get to Wilmington? What did you?
My big sister moved up here actually. I have an older sister and a younger sister. And so in high school, my big sister moved up here, and ever since then, I had just been coming back and forth. And it became like, and, I've been, playing music like with my guitar and like writing music for a minute. And so like over that course of time, every time I would come to Wilmington, I would go to a new open mic. And just do something musical, because it was like Newtown, like not many of these people know me. Like I can maybe make a fool of myself on like a stage or something, with these songs that I'm not 100% sure about.
That's how I met you guys.
Yeah.
I was hosting Bottega open mic.
Oh yeah.
I remember the first night you guys came in. I was like, who are they? I was like, I need a book Voice in the Pen. Who are they? How do I get in touch with them?
It's like we're Blake and Chappie.
That's right.
This is right when it broke Chapman's back. It was the final straw.
We're coming up with a name. Yeah, but then I graduated high school. I stayed in Aiken, like my town that I was in, for another year, and then just jumped to Wilmington with music in mind.
Yeah, we probably like related or something. Like a family in Aiken too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, for real.
I mean, most likely, knowing how South Carolina works, we're probably cousins.
Yeah.
Not wrong. Sidebar, true story. I'm in Charleston with my sister and my wife right before we got married, and we had gone to go see Shovels and Rope play, and we were out in downtown Charleston, and we went to a club briefly, and we're out in the street, making our way home after last call, and this person comes up, and we're like randomly talking, and they're like, "Where?" And they were like, "Oh, we're definitely cousins."
Oh my god.
100% definitely cousins.
We need to pull up a 23andMe on that.
So it turns out we're actually more like half siblings, but it's weird that way. Oh, South Cac. But you mentioned bluegrass earlier too when we were talking. So is that kind of your roots? How did you get started playing?
Yeah, so South Carolinian bluegrass roots. No, I started singing in 6th grade. I like kind of found out I could. And I had been singing ever since, like just doing school shows, like plays and stuff. And then come 9th grade, I went to a new school. Maybe you've heard of it, Ben Lippen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they have a classical guitar program there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And it was my 9th grade year. I like had an art like elective, or I don't can't remember the terminology for it, but I had like an art class that I needed to like fill, and I was like, my parents were like, "Oh, he sings, throw him in guitar." And so so I started in that guitar class, and it was classical guitar, so it was a whole ensemble of students, and Mr. Essig, the guitar teacher there, I think he's still the teacher there too. He had a group of seniors that were all in a bluegrass band, because Mr. Essig like loves bluegrass, and taught like these seniors that like really had taken a liking to music, how to like play bluegrass, and like took them to Bill's Pick and Parlor in downtown Columbia for like these like Tuesday night shows, or no, it was Friday nights. And that year they were about to all graduate, and it had kind of become like a thing for Ben Lippen to have like that bluegrass band. So they wanted to make another band. And Mr. Essig came to me and was like, yo, I know you sing and have a good voice. I would love you to be the like lead singer and like guitar player for the band. And so like that year, 9th grade year, I like joined that bluegrass band, and that was my introduction into music itself. Like playing guitar on stage, like in front of people.
The performance aspect.
The performance aspect. Because I had been on stage before for like acting and like school plays.
Our town.
Yeah, but that was like the first like, you know, actual like music like musician experience that I had.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it was a cool introduction. It was cool.
Might catch Dead Fox, or at least the Chappie part of Dead Fox at Satellite one Sunday for the Bluegrass Jam.
Bluegrass Jam.
No, it's like amazing though, like the amount of influence it's had on my sound, because like I kind of like dropped the grass part of it and kept the blues.
Listening to you sing, I was like, there's something that's so familiar about your voice in a way, but more directly, like stylistically, what you're doing. And I'm like, I can't place it. It's like familiar, but not. And now the bluegrass thing, I'm like,
kind of a little bit.
I see what you did there, sir. I see.
yeah. It's like a mix between blues rock and bluegrass.
Very cool. Well, we are super grateful that you came in to chat with us for a little while today, and we're really excited to hear your music. So thank you for sharing that with us. And
I noticed you also have one of your Dead Fox shirts on.
I do.
Can you show us the back?
Yeah, it's
little
a
product
bit
placement
wrinkled right now. I don't have an iron, so
Fair enough.
yeah. This is the abbreviation DFNG in the back.
Nice.
Nice.
Shout out Mimi Greer.
Represent.
DFNG.
Yeah,
Very
follow
cool.
us on Instagram. You'll see like where our latest shows are, and you can get a T-shirt. You can come to a show and get a T-shirt.
All right. Well, we're going to listen to you all share your music with us. Look forward to hearing you and seeing you today, and then also around town. When do you have any big shows coming up later this year in like kind of the June, July timeframe that you can think of?
Not off the cusp. But we're really hoping for something fun for Halloween.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
That's a while away, buddy.
Oh, well, I mean, Halloween, and also like my birthday is August 7th, so
Gotta do something.
we might have to get a show going that night.
I'm still gonna go see Slightly Stupid on August 6th.
Oh,
so.
that's August 6th, isn't it?
I heard that there's a stage at Stella Maris, so maybe you could have a big birthday bash there.
Where'd
and
you
run it
hear
to
that?
like 3 p.m.
That's not.
Who's spreading rumors? We'll be here on the
Spreading all these
Voice and
rumors.
Pin podcast. Oh my God!
All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us today, and we're going to listen to you play some music now. We appreciate you
thanks
being
so
here.
much.
Thank you so much for having
having
us.
Absolutely.
Jinx.
So,
It's the middle of the night, full moon high, not a soul in sight. And at the corner of my eye, she walks into the light. And I'll admit at first I was startled, but then put at ease by the sight. Caught her outside the bar the other day. She was trying to stop a nosebleed. Caught her outside the bar the other day. She was trying to stop a nosebleed. And I tried so hard to look the other way, but she kept on staring back at me. Won't you tell me the deal that I made? Was it an accident or was it fate? On that night at the crossroads when I looked away and she was gone, I found out the devil's a woman. I found out the devil's a woman. Oh no. She's got a hold of me. She's the only thing that I ever see. She's got a hold of me. She's the only thing that I ever see. She doesn't even walk around, she just glides unnaturally. Went deep in the woods to try and find a place to clear my mind. And there she was, to confirm what it is that's implied. And she didn't even say anything, she just kept painting red the flowers of white. Won't you tell me the deal that I made? Was it an accident or was it fate? On that night at the crossroads when I looked away and she was gone, I found out the devil's a woman. I found out the devil's a woman. Oh no, yeah. In the dead of night with the full moon high, no soul inside, the devil's a woman. The dead of night with the full moon high, no soul inside, the devil's a woman. The devil's a woman. Beautiful. Falling ever deeper in these ever-changing secrets of me just hoping you'll find your way back. The way you squint your eyes stays immortalized in my mind. Why do I question you and I? So do you think of me an eighth of the time that I do. Do you let me run freely through the depths of your mind, watching sunsets freeze in the blink of an eye, dancing evasively from stars that fall from the sky? Oh, I think about all the times that we spent driving home through all the roads that bend, just to spend that extra song with you. How's it go again? It's been a while since I've heard that tune. Won't you tell me what we feel is true? I can't go on knowing you'll leave in the end. At least just tell me we can still be friends. I can't go on loving you if it's just pretend. But you can rest easy, that was never my intent. I can't go on gazing at the stars in your eyes, 'cause I just might follow them to where the land meets the sky. The chills of January have fallen on this little beach town, and here I am calling to see if you're still around. Won't you give me a ring anytime you need a break from the worldly desires of this place? I can't take a mental picture of you sleeping in my arms that I tend to frequent when I'm reminded that you're gone. I put a mask on my face and walk out the door, thankful it conceals what I'm feeling for sure. Saying hi and hello to passers-by. I've gotten pretty damn good at hiding in plain sight. It seems the language I speak has long gone extinct, and the more I understand, the less I comprehend of this perplexing life that I choose to lead. I'm catching glimpses of myself on the silver screen, dealing with things from the past and others yet unseen. I suppose life is all about feeling incomplete, so won't you give me a twinge of that completion I crave that will help me keep my damn shrink away? If you came back to me, babe, would it snuff out the flames? Would it smother the passions that I feel in spades? Would it kill you to know that those couple of days was the best time I've spent since I left my home state? You're so full of contradiction, and I kind of like it that way. You hate to say goodbye, and then off you fly away. You're a bird that can't be caged, and I guess that goes to say that if you were to stay, things just wouldn't be the same. Oh no.
tell me we can still be friends. I can't go on loving you if it's just pretend. But you can rest easy, that was never my intent. I can't go on gazing at the stars in your eyes, 'cause I just might follow them to where the land meets the sky. I can't go on dreaming about your embrace to the ends of the world.